Bore da pawb, morning everyone, lovely to be with you again, and a very warm welcome to everyone who's joined us today, and a warm welcome to those who are watching us on catch up, so to speak. So hello to you all, and this is our last Certificate of Appreciation and Long Service Awards event of 2022, and we've had great events throughout the year, and I'm absolutely delighted again to be here with you all this morning. And in preparation, I managed to get a preview on some of the citations, and I can just say that again, colleagues from across the organisation have been so kind, so generous, and so diligent in sharing their appreciation of their colleagues and putting them forward for this appreciation event. And I want to say a particular thank you to those who do take the time to submit those citations for their colleagues. So you've done a brilliant job yet again. So diolch. And we're going to be starting today's event. I just want to say that over time we've been developing this event, and more we are including people who have achieved qualifications, additional recognition through their study as well, and really keen to encourage that. You know, we've been putting a lot of work into our Health and Care Academy approach here in Powys, and that focus and that investment is because we really do want to invest in colleagues right the way across the organisation, their learning, their development, and career progression as well. So I'm particularly pleased to see where people have been able to study and to progress in that regard. So we're going to cover a couple of those areas as well, if that's okay. And as always with these events, we look forward to hearing what you think about the events and how we can improve them, and we'll be thinking about that as we move into next year as well. So I'm going to start by saying a few words about 14 nominees, and those nominees are, we would like to both celebrate and congratulate those people who've been nominated for awards or have achieved those qualifications that I was just mentioning. So we're going to start with Omar Bojang, and I'm absolutely delighted to congratulate Omar, who's a hotel services assistant. The award here is the Skills Academy Wales Awards Apprentice of the Year, and Omar's been successful in achieving his NVQ level 3 in catering, and fantastic. And it just takes me back, Omar, to a couple of months ago with the Platinum Jubilee of the Queen, the late Queen, and how I saw the skills that we have within the organisation from our catering teams in the Platinum Jubilee trifle. So, you know, we're delighted to see that you have achieved this award and this study. So a huge congratulations to you. Now, Omar has been nominated by Tin Wheeler, who said Omar's a real asset to the catering teams and has worked both in Brecon and Brontlease. Whenever I see him, he's friendly and helpful. And it's great to see that he's achieved this qualification and will be bringing his skills to benefit staff and patients alike. So congratulations to you, Omar, and thank you very much for everything that you do.
I can see Omar's joined us on screen there as well. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Well done. Well, you've got colleagues using their emojis there, Omar. So brilliant.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, brilliant. So I'm going to move now to the next person who's achieving the appreciation and recognition, and that is a community staff nurse, Rebecca Baldwin. Well done, Rebecca. And you've been nominated by Judith Davis, and actually you've completed your specialist practitioner qualification with Glyndŵr University. So for those people who don't know, there is a qualification in nursing where you have what's called SPQ, Specialist Practitioner Qualification. The standards are set by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. So they're very high standards, and that does require additional study and assessment. So Rebecca, congratulations on achieving that qualification. That's excellent. So Judith Davis nominated you and wanted us to highlight that you were also awarded the university's Philip Goodeve Docker Memorial Prize for 2022. I was really interested to understand that the prize is offered by the Queen's Nursing Institute to the top performing student of the District Nursing SPQ programme in each university in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. So that is an absolutely fantastic achievement, Becky. You know, well done, not just to get the SPQ qualification, but then to receive the university's prize as the top student. That's absolutely brilliant. Well done. Congratulations. And I hope that we will catch up when I'm out and about and I can hear a little bit more about the work that you've been undertaking.
And again, Becky's joined us here as well, so I don't know if you want to bring her in.
Yes, Becky, hi.
Oh, Rebecca,
do you want
sorry.
to say anything?
Oh, thank you, and thank you to Judith for the nomination. It means a lot after two years of hard work and finishing it off when I was 8 months pregnant. So it's all been worth it. So yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Well done. Well done to do that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Brilliant. Congratulations. And again, thank you, Judith, for making us aware of that. That's brilliant. Fantastic. I shall move now to physiotherapy assistant practitioner Rebecca Morgan. Rebecca's achieved a Bachelor of Science and Honours in Sport, Fitness and Coaching in July of this year, and Becky was nominated by Rebecca Randall, who says that Becky's been a truly inspirational example of someone who has started as a support worker in the health board and has taken every opportunity that's given to gain awards, qualifications and experience. And Becky offers Rebecca her huge congratulations, and I endorse that. What a fantastic achievement. And I just to recognise you know, that the last couple of years have been extremely challenging for everyone, haven't they? And whether, you know, and particularly if we work in the NHS, but to have undertaken study as well, really that's pulling things completely out of the bag. So huge congratulations to you all for that, and congratulations to Rebecca Morgan. And what a lovely picture there. With your gown on, so that's brilliant to see, and such a proud moment, I'm sure, for you and your family.
I
and
hope Becky doesn't mind me nicking that from her Twitter.
Yeah. Well done, Adrian, for that. Well done.
I'll just about forgive you, Adrian.
That's lovely. That's lovely. And please don't feel you have to say anything. Some people might be put off by this, but if you do want to say anything, Rebecca, feel free.
No, just thank you to Beck for sort of nominating me. It's very kind of you. Yeah, sort of full-time study and full-time work and full-time life has been tricky, but I got there in the end. So yeah, very happy.
Brilliant. Yeah,
nice to be able to use it.
Yeah, completely. Well, congratulations, Rebecca. That's fantastic. Well done. Well done. I'm moving now to our next nominee, which is Project Support Officer Hannah Bojang. And Hannah has gained her ILM level 5 in leadership and management, and a Prince 2 practitioner. So people may not know what Prince 2 is. It's about program and project management methodologies and skills, and you know, it's quite a taxing program to do. And so well done, Hannah, for grabbing hold of that and getting stuck in. And Julia, when nominating Hannah, said that Hannah's recently joined the Transformation and Value team and is using all her skills, knowledge and experience to drive forward work and improve the outcomes for the people who live in Powys, which is what we are all here to do. And Hannah, you know, undertaking study and personal development will help you and others, I'm sure, to deliver that to the very best of our ability. So well done, Hannah. Excellent to see that your development is being put to really good use there in our transformation and value team, a really important function now across the organisation, recognising we changed so much during the pandemic, and we heard from a lot of people how that change was positive and uplifting. And you know, we've got challenges ahead, and we're going to have to change and adapt again, as the NHS always has had to do. So your skills there, Hannah, very welcome, and huge congratulations to you. I'm going to move next to podiatrist Dion Bees, and Dion has achieved her non-medical prescribing qualification, and we talk about the challenging time during this challenging time, and she was nominated by Peter Taylor, who's head of podiatry in our organisation. And Peter says she's the first podiatrist in Powys with the non-medical prescribing qualification, so that is brilliant achievement, and I think what a string to your bow as a podiatrist. And I think you'll be setting perhaps the path for others to learn from you and to understand the impact that you can now have on patient care with that extra qualification. So hopefully I can see a message that, Dion, you may not be with us in lifetime, but I hope that you managed to catch up and you see the very warm round of applause about to come your way, and our huge congratulations to you. So brilliant stuff. And I know that non-medical prescribing qualification is pretty tough. I remember it from my old days. So well done to you. Moving next to Louisa Kerr. Fantastic to see Louisa here as the head of mental health operations, and Louisa's gained a distinction in her MBA, Masters of Business Administration, in healthcare management with the Glyndŵr University. And Lucy Harbour has nominated Louisa and said, we're all so incredibly proud of Louisa. Congratulations, you've done it. And again, you know, colleagues, I'm so impressed by you're working full time in pretty full-on jobs, balancing life, work and study, and it's amazing that you're getting this level of achievement. And Louisa, my personal congratulations to you on that level of study and achievement. So well done from us all. And next we celebrate 4 people nominated by Margaret Meredith. Lovely to see Margaret's name, and thank you, Margaret, for nominating your colleagues. They've all achieved their BACP counsellor accreditation, and we know that we've been trying to develop and expand our psychological therapies approach to emotional and mental health and well-being. And so these qualifications are really very important in terms of the service that we can offer to people in Powys. So huge congratulations to Andrea Jones, to Stephanie Hitchins, to Rachel Philbrick and to Mindy Molden. all 4 are counsellors working in South and Mid Powys, and have now got their accreditation, and gives me a chance, I think, to say at this point that support for emotional and mental health issues is available for staff through our staff wellbeing SharePoint site, our new partner VivUp. Worth having a good look at that site, and there's lots of very useful information on there, and links to people who can support you, and hence, you know, the focus on our citizens' well-being, I think, translates to our focus on our staff well-being as well. And psychological therapy, psychological support is, I think, fundamental to our own well-being and our resilience. So well done to Andrea, Stephanie, Rachel and Mindy. Thank you very much indeed. And then the final nominations in this part are also from Margaret Meredith, and that's for colleagues who've achieved their EMDR practitioner status. And again, psychological therapies, and EMDR is one of those therapies, and it stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. Now, please don't ask me any questions on it. I don't know much about it, but I do know that this is an area of practice development that we've wanted to go in, and therefore fantastic that we've got colleagues who've undertaken this practitioner programme and have achieved the practitioner status here. So counsellors Helen John Eccles and Andrea Jones, and mental health practitioners Heike Scully and Tanya Price. So they've all completed and achieved the EMDR. It's a Europe accredited training via the EMDR Academy, and that's going to offer so much more to people with those needs and those requirements. And absolutely delighted to see us expanding our offer to people here in Powys. And Helen, Andrea, Heike, I'm sorry if I've mispronounced it, and Tanya, huge congratulations and thank you for undertaking that practitioner programme. So that brings us to the end of that section, and I'm absolutely blown away by the level of commitment, the sheer diligence of colleagues in developing themselves so that they can support the people of Powys and our organisation in meeting their needs. And I think that deserves the massive round of applause, if we could, at this stage, to congratulate all of our colleagues in those categories, and to those who've made us aware about their colleagues' achievements. So never hide your light under a bushel. Please tell us what you've been up to. I'm going to hand over now to Adrian. Thanks ever so much, Adrian, for being my presenting partner today. And Adrian's going to read through the individual nominations. So across to you, Adrian. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carol, and never like how you light under a bushel or an elf hat for that matter as well, because they do get a bit hot. And whilst this says Santa's Little Helper on the front, I think I need to get one saying Carol's Little Helper for some of these events as well. And I'd really just echo those amazing thanks to everybody who nominates as well, because events like this are only possible because of you making your nominations. So I'm delighted to be introducing our individual certificates of appreciation. And first of all, I've got Maya Stevens, who's just retired as a children's learning disability nurse from the Learning Disability team after over 30 years of service. And as you can see in that photo, there was a great fancy dress night at Mellington Hall. I think from the comments on social media, I'm not sure how much Maya was looking forward to dressing up or surprises, but said that she had such an amazing send-off with great people. So thank you so much to Sandra for nominating Maya, and for everybody who was involved in that wonderful, wonderful send-off at Mellington Hall. And so, yeah, make sure we have a round of applause there for Maya, and thank you so much. Possibly if you've retired, you might not be able to watch this online, but we'll make sure you can watch that at a later date and share it via colleagues as well. And next, thank you so much to Catherine Guest, who's been nominated by Julia Toy. And Catherine is also somebody who's recently joined the transformation and value team that Carol was talking about earlier. She's on secondment as our agile project management practitioner. And this is all about helping all of our teams with skills to be able to take forward those improvements that we all feel are so needed and so important within our services. Now, Catherine has been working on the multi-agency Falls project in conjunction with Welsh Ambulance Trust and Powys County Council and local care homes. And she's brought a wealth of experience into that role and has been working really hard to implement new ways of working in Powys that help falls related outcomes. And clearly, again, that's such a critical area right now for our more elderly, vulnerable patients to be able to reduce the number of falls, to help people recover after falls, and reduce the need to go into hospital as well. Because as many people possibly know, if you're in your 80s, then 10 days in hospital can be equivalent to 10 years of muscle decompensation. So the more we can do to support people to remain independent in their own homes, the better. So big round of applause to Catherine, and really, really good luck with all of that work that you're doing. Thank you so much. Trying to multitask here now with the slides and the script as well, so apologies for that. Thank you so much to David Lee, Senior Radiographer in Llandrindod Wells, nominated by Michelle Kirkham, our professional lead for radiography. Now, David's been nominated for his outstanding commitment and contribution to the implementation of the PACS system. So that's the digital system that records and sends all of those images that we undertake. And David's been working really hard on that in Llandrindod Wells Community Hospital in the X-ray department. And Michelle says he never gives up. He keeps the momentum going with the suppliers to get the job done. Well done, David. Your continued support, determination, sense of humour is so much appreciated, and your efforts certainly haven't gone unnoticed. So thank you, David, and let's have a big round of applause for you. Now, next, one of those really critical roles, one of our porters, Peter Carver, nominated by Andrea Williams. And Andrea says that Peter's worked here for over 30 years. He goes above and beyond the call of duty, and certainly nothing is too much trouble. He delivers all of his services efficiently in a cheerful and timely manner, and is a tonic to everyone, never flapping or worrying, just getting on calmly with his job. A real credit to the service. So thank you so much, Peter. So I know so many colleagues across the Health Board that really encapsulate that as well, and would echo that feedback too. So well done, and thank you for everything that you do. And next, domestic assistant Jackie O'Shea, nominated by Dawn Kynaston. Dawn says that Jackie is a really happy person who goes above and beyond to help anyone and in and outside of her job. And we think that Jackie is a really amazing lady. So again, thank you so much to Jackie. Thank you to all of our domestic services team as well, because without you, we certainly wouldn't have the clean, tidy, welcoming hospitals and vaccination centres and clinics that are so important to all of our patients and communities. So well done, and thank you for that, Jackie. My next nomination here is for Psychology Administrator Joanne Smith, who is nominated by Jamie Horn. Now, Jamie's nominated Joanne for her caring and sympathetic approach to clients as the first point of contact and face of the psychology service. And clearly, like many of our services, that's one where people are coming in a really anxious time. So having that friendly welcome from somebody like Joanne is so important. And Jamie says that Joanne goes above and beyond to help reassure clients when they're anxious, and her warmth, sensitivity and endless time to help people is outstanding. And so many of her colleagues would like to say thank you, Joanne. So big, big round of applause to you. Lovely, lovely words there from Jamie. Thank you so much. And next is Alexandra Gamble, who's been nominated by Rachel Lewis. I have a feeling, Alex, that you might have been nominated last time as well. So you're doing something absolutely fantastic here. Rachel tells us that you've been pivotal in helping transform the way the Safeguarding Service produces their data. And as well as recently developing a report for the commissioning of healthcare of looked after children, she's now undertaking another project to develop a safer and more efficient database to house the information that Safeguarding need to collect regarding looked after children. And Alex's dedication, creativity and flexibility to work with the needs of the service has been phenomenal. So well done and thank you, Alex. And clearly, again, as so many of our services, that's working with and supporting vulnerable people who most need our care. So absolutely fantastic work. Big round of applause to you. And then I've got two more nominations to come up, both of which are group ones. So Judith Davies has nominated Kristen Hughes, Vicky Ryder and Hannah Jones for the action they took in an emergency situation outside work. Now, I'll admit I don't know much about what that emergency situation was, but they each work in different teams in North Powys within the Montgomery District and within the Montgomery District nursing team as well. And their ability to support the team and patients has been exceptional. And particularly in an emergency situation outside of work, Kristen, Vicky and Hannah offered their assistance. They showed professionalism and kindness, providing support throughout the distressing circumstances. And Judith says that thanks to all three of you for representing both the Health Board, but also those values of the Nursing and Midwifery Council Code as well. So thank you so much for doing such an exceptional thing outside of work as well. Big round of applause to all three of you. Well done. And now my final is an individual award, but it's a big group here. Now, I know that many of these people won't be able to join us today as they're members of the Newtown COVID-19 Vaccination Centre and in the middle of a clinic this morning. So we're planning on a separate opportunity just to catch up with you if you can't join us right now. And these have all been nominated individually by Diana Mills. So if you count how many names are on that screen as well, that's a massive job by Diana Mills to nominate everybody individually for their work and their support for the vaccination service in Newtown. Well done and thank you to all of you. That's Vanessa Newton, Caroline Walls, Annie Cork, Jan Williams, Imogen Williams, Sophie Benbow, Linda Jones, Malcolm Shears, Kathy Pearce, Pat Davies, Livia Madiga, Maya Thomas, Layla Jandrell, John Patterson, Mike Ashwell, Jodie Horton, Leslie Camelio, Claire Roberts and Amanda Wilday. And you might wonder why I skipped over Zulma. Well, it was Zulma who gave me my COVID and flu vaccination at the same time as well when I attended the clinic. So my special thanks to Zulma as well. We do look forward to arranging a separate event to thank you all, possibly in one of your lunch breaks. So well done and thank you everybody, and a big round of applause there for all of our individual nominees. Thank you so much. And I'm delighted now to hand back to Carol and also take my elf hat on because my head does get a bit hot in this as well. Thank you, everybody.
Well done. Absolutely well done to you, Adrian, for multitasking. I know it's quite challenging and I only got to press one button. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, we're into team certificates of appreciation. And well, what a treat that I have in sharing some of these nominations this morning. I'm going to say a few words about the 6 nominees teams, and then we'll go with it with the emojis and with the recognition. So now our first team is the engagement and communication team, and Adrian, thank you for taking your time to nominate the team. And Adrian said when nominating them that at 6:30 p.m. on the 8th of September, the nation heard the sad news of the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I'm so proud of the immediate steps taken by the engagement communication team and their continued support to the organisation and our communities in the days that followed. With timely and sensitive messaging, they helped us all at a difficult time. Their flexible response to new and changing circumstances is a credit to the organisation. And I absolutely endorse that. And, you know, it was, you know, we all knew that the Queen was 97, wasn't she? And but she'd been around our whole lives, and so even though we knew that, you know, her end would come, how we managed that at that time was going to be really important. And that sensitivity and timeliness that Adrian mentioned there is absolutely key. And so representing the team today, and the huge thanks go to James Field, Tin Wheeler, Rebecca Price, Steve Haslam, John Thomas and Victoria Lewis. So huge thank you to that team. And huge congratulations for the appreciation and the recognition today. I know that the comms and engagement is a 365 day of the year activity. So always good that colleagues across the organisation are engaging with the comms and what's going on and keeping us up to date. And so that happens seamlessly from this team. So thank you very much indeed. I'm going to move next to the COVID-19 PPE stores and distribution service team, and that team's been nominated by Andrew Creswell. Andrew is our Assistant Director of Support Services, and he says that the COVID-19 stores and distribution service was established from a standing start in April 2020 and very quickly became an important element in the Health Board's success in maintaining well-governed and stable services in the Health Board's response to the pandemic, providing a reliable and flexible response to requirements for PPE, including specialist face masks, and then lateral flow devices, and working in partnership with the Test, Trace and Protect team. Difficulties with PPE supply were minimised and quickly resolved. The team made a significant contribution to the safety of patients and staff in all areas of the Health Board during the waves of COVID-19. The stores closed on the 30th of September, and really important to acknowledge the quality of the service and the positive approach from the team. And if I can add my own reflections, goodness me, you know, we go straight back to that time. It feels so vivid in my own mind, and how worried we all were about whether we would get the right supplies, and the challenge of our geography and getting them in the right place at the right time. And to establish a service such as this in such quick order and to be so effective, you know, people didn't have, you know, pull out all the stops to make that happen. And I mean, you know, weekends, evenings, long days to ensure that we could do our very best on the supplies front. So representing the team today, Duncan Crawley, Denise Vaughan, Andrew Fletcher, Catherine Olivant, Robert Williams and Troy Hannaford. And thank you so much. I remember visiting in the concert hall down at Brontleys, and we had the military support as well. And what a fantastic operation it was. Absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, and well done. Well done. I'm going to move next to the Brontleys Vaccination Centre Support Services, and they've been nominated by Jane Harding. And Jane says that Dan, Andy and Dave are porters at the MVC at Brontleys and are outstanding members of my team. They go above and beyond for the clients at the MVC, ensuring their needs are met from the car to the centre and back into their vehicles, keeping them safe and calm, especially in the wild weather. And we've had plenty of that, whether that's wild winter weather or even wild summer weather that we had, didn't we? So huge thanks. And the team here are Dan Probert, Andy Reid and Dave Russell-Watkins. So thanks very much, Dan, Andy, Dave, brilliant work. And thank you, Jane, for making us aware of their brilliant work and for nominating your colleagues here. So thank you very much. It just gives me a chance to say, if you haven't got round to having your vaccine, can I encourage you to get a wriggle on? And it's still available. Vaccine's still available. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a sort of pre-Christmas rush, I suspect, but there is vaccine available, and the teams are always keen, ready, willing, and able to help colleagues to top up on their vaccination. So please do have a look at that. Adrian talked about having his. I've had mine. I had both in one arm. It worked brilliantly for me. So please do, if you haven't quite got round to it yet, make yourself available for that. And you know, you yourself might meet Dan, Andy, and Dave. So thank you to you all. A second nomination by Jane Harding is for the PAVO volunteers at the Brontleys vaccination centres. So PAVO is the Powys Association of Voluntary Organisations, and the volunteers have been absolutely brilliant. So Jane says these nominees are volunteers that have enhanced the experience at the Brontleys MVC for the clients. They have all been an invaluable asset to the service, and I'm grateful to each and everyone that has donned their high-vis and wellies, put on a smile in all sorts of weather. Absolutely. And, you know, we've got the most spectacular contribution in Powys from people who volunteer, and I'm pretty sure they don't do it for the glamour, because at times those winds and weathers are really challenging. So I want to thank particularly members of the volunteer team, Mark Calvin, Hazel O'Donnell, Julie Martin, Emma Davis, Delith Evans, Jane Treasure, Paul Yates, Wendy Bates, Laura and Guy Theopolis, Liz Rugenberg, Alison Reardon and Caroline James. Thank you so much for everything that you have done in supporting people in Powys to access their vaccination. And yep, there's plenty more vaccination going on during this season, and thank you for your continued support. I'm going to move to the next team, and Claire Lines has nominated the Renewal Programme for Cancer and the Fecal Immunochemical Testing Implementation Team. Now, that's often shortened to FIT testing. Now, one of the big issues that we have as a country is during the pandemic, people didn't often come forward with perhaps what were worrying signs, or maybe they didn't recognise the signs that could be cancer. So we're dealing with a real challenge now to ensure that we can, as quickly as possible, identify people who may have cancer, identify them at the earliest stages. And so the renewal programme around cancer has been really focused on that. And the clinical lead, Dr. Ruth Corbley, transformation manager Mike Griffiths and programme support officer Sally Kenyon Mills have together ensured the successful rollout of FIT testing across primary care in Powys. And this is a stool test designed to identify possible signs of bowel disease. And well done. Well done indeed. It's complex work. It's got to be right the way across Powys so everyone has an opportunity, and it's fantastic work. And I know that I was hearing that our cancer programme has been audited, and that we're getting substantial assurance, and that which is, you know, the highest level of assurance that we can about implementing programmes such as these. So that's an additional feather in your cap gaps. So Michael, Ruth and Sally, huge congratulations. Thank you so much for the work that you've done in relation to this. We know the impacts of bowel cancer, particularly being highlighted in recent times. With the death of, sadly, high profile people, but that brings a real attention and focus on this. So Dame Deborah James, of course, being one of the latest people in that position. And thank you very much to Claire. Claire Lyons, thank you for taking the time to nominate your colleagues. That is very much appreciated. And then our final nominations for today are the Occupational Health Admin Team, nominated by Joe Samuel. Joe says the Occupational Health Admin Team work tirelessly. Many of us come across them when processing pre-employment checks, but they do so much more than that. They worked consistently through COVID and continue to do so through lots of periods of change. And particularly, we have had really tricky gaps in clinical staffing in the occupational health team, and having really resilient, confident, strong admin team there has, and they've often been the first point of contact, Joe says, for many of the health board employees. And as we, want to welcome more colleagues to join us, that first interaction is a really important one. So huge thanks to Sarah Williams, Stacey Holder and Lisa Moon. Well done. Thank you so much. And we've been particularly focusing on how we strengthen occupational health in the organisation, such an important part of maintaining all of our staff well-being, resilience and emotional and physical health. So you play a very important part in our organisation. So diolch yn fawr, thank you very much indeed. And that's the end of that category. So I wonder if we can, in the usual way, using emojis and any other means, show our appreciation for our colleagues and our thanks to people who have taken the time to nominate. What a wonderful way to start a Friday. Absolutely brilliant. So thank you all very much. And just a couple of reflections from me, really, as we draw this morning's event to a close. When we started these, we started them because we really wanted to share our thanks and to highlight how much we appreciate each other, and for me as the chief exec in the organisation, how much I and the board appreciate the efforts of staff right the way across Powys, in every type of department, at every type of role in the organisation. And never did I imagine that 2-3 years down the line we'd still be doing these and be getting the numbers and the level of nominations that we do. And it is so heartwarming to hear the work that is going on, the achievements, the friendship, the kindness and the commitment of people to each other, of teams, and of course to our patients and citizens of Powys. So I continue to be absolutely amazed by how strong and resilient we are in Powys as a team Powys, and I want to thank you all most sincerely for everything that you're doing. Times are really tough at the moment, aren't they? And having these positive experiences, understanding that all of us in our own way, in our own role, are making a very active contribution to our organisation, to our colleagues, and to people in Powys. That will keep us going through the difficult times, and so please keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a fabulous job. And I very much look forward to hearing the next round of nominations for the certificate of appreciation. And my thanks to Trina, Adrian and their respective colleagues for enabling this to happen so smoothly, so well. Thank you very much. And so as we close this event, the last one in 2022, I wonder if we can all engage in a collective round of applause. So thank you all very much indeed. Diolch yn fawr. Have a wonderful Christmas holiday season, and I'll see you again back at an event like this early in 2023. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you all very much indeed.